Hi folks, just a quick video today. Beautiful day here on the Southern Virginia Homestead, and just starting to get outside and do what I can out here. A lot of you know that watch my channel regularly. I'm recovering from a broken ankle, and this is really the first time I've been able to do anything, but the recovery is slow and the work increments are going to be short, as I've been cautioned not to overdo it, which is very hard not to do. Very easy to overdo it, very hard to try to limit myself. So I got an IBC tote here and I cut it. So I cut it in half, and then you can see this one here on the far side I trimmed down to that bar, the top bar. This one here I left. I'm going to do a couple different things with these. So this one is the one with the drain in the side. Right. I'm going to elevate them. I'm going to put gravel in the bottom. And I'm going to try to, I got some good fresh compost to go in there. So I got several more of these that I'm picking up today. I'm going to try to pipe those drains into a bucket and reclaim whatever water runs through them as like a compost tea, because it's very nutrient rich. I figure that's prudent rather than just letting it spill out over the ground. These here, however, have the tops in them. So, I mean, theoretically they could be raised higher and drained out through the tops. I think with these what I'm going to do is just drill holes in the bottom and just let that drain, and it won't really be wasted anyway because it's going to sit up on the back to Eden area, and that compost tea will go into the wood chips and it'll help with the mycorrhizal fungi and all the fungus activity and the worms and all that. So theoretically it's going to be going back into what's going to be the future back to Eden garden. This is only year 2, and I've been struggling to get chips, and so it's very sparse, and I want to make the area bigger too, so that's a constant struggle. As I say, I was able to get a load of chips. I think I got it in the camera here. The sun's in my viewer. But, it's like pulling teeth and getting them to drop off the chips. But I'm struggling ahead with the back to Eden. And so what I'm going to do with these, as I cut them in the future, let me pause it and show you over here. So I'm getting a few more of these totes tonight, and I've found a deal on them, 35 bucks a piece. This is out. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if that's far back enough, but if you count the square, the horizontal bars, I'm going to come up 2 and cut it. So the top section will have 3, the bottom section will have 2. So the bottom section will be a little narrower. That's going to be the one with the drains for the compost tea. The other ones that are going to, the tops, when I flip them over, I'll just punch holes in here for drainage. Again, like I said, that'll feed those, that whole fungus and all that stuff in the back to Eden, because I'm going to set these on the wood chips. And they're deeper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put at least down to the first bar from the bottom, or up to the first bar from the bottom. I'm going to put rotten wood, old wood, various stages of rottenness, and then that will be like a hugelkultur-ish, similar to what I did in that bin. I don't know if you can see it back there. Again, I can't see because of the sun. I don't even know if I'm capturing it here, but the yard's kind of a mess anyway. But if you see that metal, that was going to be the metal raised beds that I'm going to make, and I still am, but because of the condition with my ankle, I don't know if that's going to happen in time for growing season this year, because it's a lot of work, and you know, it requires digging and all kinds of other stuff. So not sure. I'm certainly not ready with my ankle to do that yet, and I'm going to hold off until I can. But by then it may be past planting time, so that may be a project for next year. So with these totes, as I say, I've gotten them for 35 bucks a piece. So for, you know, you cut them in half for $17.50, you've got 2 beds. Very little labor. You go around them with the sawzall to cut them, and bing, they're done. Fill them with compost and go. And so with the state of my recovery on my ankle, that is well within my capability if I do it an hour or so at a time. I've got to also clean up this back to Eden area here, and I want to extend it. So again, I'm struggling to get more and more chips.
Does the new Republican governor run?
So ideally, I'd like this whole area, you know, to have it all the way back to those fruit trees. Probably not going to happen this year. Again, the labor plus the availability of the chips. You see these buckets that I planted in last year. Now, this is the uncleaned ones here. These over here are ones that I went through. And so I sifted out a couple buckets of chips and dirt and greens. So the greens are going to go into the compost pile and back. The chips and the dirt, I'm either going to let them compost. These are the cleaned out bins or buckets. So again, there's one right there with chips, and as I scoop the chips off the top, you know, I get some dirt with it. So I'm either going to sift those and separate it and reuse it immediately, or I'm going to put them in a separate compost pile because they're, you know, at least half composted. I'll let them go another year, and then I got to finish cleaning out the rest of the buckets. That'll be tomorrow because I'm at the point where I gotta stop. I've been out here a couple hours. My foot's swelling up and it's starting to throb and wah wah wah. I don't want to be a crybaby, but I gotta stay on top of that because I don't want any long-term setbacks. My wife, my wonderful wife, came out here last week and started pulling some of the grasses out from around the berries. And so, as you can see here, and so I'm gonna get some cardboard and cut around them, the bases. Again, over the winter I was gonna trim it up, but with my foot I didn't get to that either. So I'll do the best I can with it. The deer come and eat them pretty quick too, so until this whole area gets fenced in, I'm just gonna keep them alive and realize I'm probably not gonna get any yield. The fence is on my list too. The ankle injury really set me back. Again, crybaby, but I just keep bringing that up, but only to say that I've had tons of stuff on the list that I didn't get to. So I'm starting the season under the gun, behind the gun. But I'd like to get some mulch on these, keep the weeds up so that we can control that coming up. They're starting to bud. They are healthy. Again, the deer will attack them when they get a whiff of them or whatever. I don't know. They can grow and grow, then all of a sudden in one night they'll just come and eat every tender little green leaf that's in there. And so the dog will keep them away. I don't really know. She pees and poops all over the place, so her scent's got to be over, but deer are pretty smart, right? If she's inside at the middle of the night is when they come. I don't really see that being a deterrent to them. Oh, that's it. Just an update on the Southern Virginia Homestead. Feels good again to get out here and start, even though the progress is slow and my limitations are vast. I'm just happy to be out here, enjoying the fresh air, enjoying the day, kicking the football down the field in forward direction as best I can. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following me.